All right, we are back with episode number 3 of the Wrasslin Roundtable podcast. I'm Ryan Hall, along with Dominique LaRue, and we just don't have anything to talk about tonight. We don't have a thing to talk about tonight. Nothing has been going on in the world of wrestling. It was kind of a mediocre Elimination Chamber show, and I'm gonna quit with these weak analogies and bring Dom into the program here today, my brother. That was a hell of a show.
Yes, that's how you kick off a road to WrestleMania. So
I mean, the mere fact that they called this a so-called B-level pay-per-view, which I never really bought, but they call it a B-level pay-per-view, and it's just one of and we're gonna get to the pink elephant that has been all over social media, all over
more
mainstream news.
like, more like maple leaf colors,
Yeah,
elephant last night.
yeah, exactly. Bright red elephant. But yeah, just we're gonna, and it was it's only a 4 match card, but we're gonna talk about you know, give our thoughts about each one of the matches, but I wanted to get your thoughts, just like overall thoughts. And we're of course talking about the heel turn that that both of us wanted, but none of us saw coming, was John Cena turning his back, going to the dark side, and kicking Cody Rhodes where the sun don't shine. Yeah, yeah.
um, some people say it was 15 years too late. Some people say that it was a bad decision. Some people can say this and that, but my thoughts on it is we knew it. We wanted it to happen, no doubt, and the shock value of it, I would have never thought that they would pull the trigger on his last run of all things.
Yeah.
I would have thought maybe 3 years ago, maybe when he made his return before he started the whole storyline with the bloodline and all that. When he came back and fought Roman, they could have started it then, like showing little cracks. Like maybe John is getting maybe he's getting too old. Maybe, he should have stayed in Hollywood, this, that, and the third. And then, John just flips a switch and just like, but they said no. And then the fact of him not only turning heel, but the fact that now we have, you ain't even got to call it the authority. You can call it corporate Hollywood.
Yeah.
Uh, you can call it the I don't know. I'm trying to think of a catchy name for 'em. Um, Hollywood Hills. You know, so but
Yeah, I mean, because it's a similar kind of energy, because you've got The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, biggest star in Hollywood, even though, let's face it, some of his movies have not been very good lately. Um, and then you've got John Cena, whose star in Hollywood is definitely on the rise. And kind of the thing that I keep coming to is that John Cena may be a young man chronologically, or at least a middle-aged man. And I say this because I'm just a few months older than he is. But in the pro wrestling game, he's definitely old. And I feel like, maybe they can, and we don't want to get too far down this rabbit hole here before we don't even talk about the show, but I feel like they could kind of angle it to where he felt like he needed that extra boost. He needed that extra push. He needed that extra whatever to be able to win that title, to be able to win that 17th title, because that seems to be the only thing that is on his mind right now is winning that 17th title.
Mhm. Yeah. And by the way, the promo he did at the Royal Rumble is top notch. Like, to be honest,
Proving to be very foreshadowing, by the way.
very, very foreshadowing, and and only WWE fashion to the fact that they kept playing that promo over and over and over every single time they got, and just, I guess, like dangling the fruit in our face, like, hey, you know, y'all looking at the big picture of just John focusing on breaking that record like everybody wants to see, but you're not realizing the Easter eggs we've been dropping, like, because you were so busy critiquing every little thing, everything from The Rock showing up at Bad Blood, doing the whole 1, 2, 3, and we like, what does that even mean? Like, what is he talking about? And now we didn't even like mention the fact that, like, it could be more. It could be something else, because you remember it was a video of Solo saying it's all falling into place, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
What does that even mean? And then, like, man, that promo, I still go back and watch it. And the music they used his music in a slow manner, and just him saying that, him winning that title is good for business. Um, him being in that match, like, I'm gonna let everybody else, say whatever they got to do, banter me, whatever. I'm finna go do this movie. I'll be back. And then for him to come back, we don't see him at all. He don't do no promo. He don't do no showing up. When The Rock was Hollywood Rock, he was doing like little beignets, and he'll, sit there and he would talk, and Hulk Hogan be in the ring and he just be like that. But
Yep.
John did that promo and we didn't see nothing from him since Royal Rumble. And he shows up and everybody's cool with him showing up, as far as fans wise, and was like, oh yeah,
It's John Cena.
John
It's
Cena.
John
Woo,
freaking Cena.
woo.
Yeah.
Not even realizing, like, these people have been telling us week in and week out, who do he think he is? CM Punk, like, I get it. He's John. I get it. But at the same time, like, I work my way to get here. I'm going to take that opportunity. And then Logan Paul, of all people, the nerve for him to say that, oh, that's just, celebrity. It's just a celebrity, part-time wrestler, celebrity wrestler. And, like, dude, just because you're full-time don't
Hypocrite.
make you don't make you that. You a full-time, yeah, well, sure, but you got guys in that ring that have been wrestling since they were kids. So, like, what? But it's just, it was, oh my god, Chef Kiss, like, that whole
Yeah.
event was just beautiful.
Yeah. Because let's face it, as a professional writer here, wrestling can have some of the worst, cheesiest storylines
Oh
that you
yeah,
can ever imagine.
oh yeah,
Like, God help her, I love her, but the whole angle of Chelsea Green being a Canadian, being the women's US champion, I find hilarious. It's cheesy as hell, but I find it hilarious.
and she does it well.
Oh,
Like,
but when the storytelling is done right, when it's done well, it's practically Shakespeare,
yeah,
because like like an analogy, and I wrote a piece about this earlier today, but analogy that just kept coming to mind was how Luke Skywalker kept getting tempted by the dark side in the original Star Wars trilogy. And I see Luke Sky. I see John Cena as kind of the Luke Skywalker of WWE. He was the just pristine baby face coming up, can defeat everything, can lift the next wing out of the swamp with his bare hands. I mean, but that was Yoda, but you know, same analogy here.
Yeah.
Um, but there was always a puppet master behind it.
Mm-hmm.
There was always a puppet master. It was never Vader who was the puppet master. He was the evil one, but it was never Vader. It was Palpatine. It was Emperor Palpatine who was who was kind of the
The
puppet master of
puppet master.
everything.
Yeah.
Who's been the puppet master of this whole thing? The final boss.
The Rock. But it's like you said, Shakespeare, like it, it's everything is so beautifully put together. And then like to even think about, okay, during COVID era, it all started with Roman. And then
Mm-hmm.
those past 4 years, it was all bloodline this, bloodline that, bloodline this, bloodline that. Then like a perfect storm happens where Cody leaves, the other promotion and comes back to WWE, and it was like kind of like an old western, like these group of people been terrorizing this town for so long, and then like this drifter comes about, and
Yeah, that's a good
you know
analogy. Yeah.
comes about, and he's the one that could disrupt everything, which he did. Like I come back, I had this dream. My father won the title he won, but never really won. And then on the only way to get it is to beat this tyrant, Roman Reigns. And then like we ain't even like Paul Heyman said in one of the promotions, we just now getting to the fourth, fifth inning.
Mm-hmm.
So like, what inning is this? This probably is the sixth inning right about now.
Yep.
Because like not to overshadow the initial shock of seeing one of our greats turn heel finally, but you still got Roman Reigns sitting in the wings, just waiting.
Mm-hmm.
He got receipts he gotta get off. So
Loads of them.
loads of them. So it's like, where are we going with this? Like, I mean, I think WrestleMania is only the tip of the iceberg, but it's like an avalanche is gonna come from WrestleMania. And WrestleMania used to be like the pinnacle of like storytelling. Like that's the end. Now let's start new storylines. But it's like we got so many storylines beginning now, going to WrestleMania, and then branching off and make it even more. And not even ending some storylines. Like it could just like be the next ending for the Bloodline storyline. So
Yeah, just could be another angle. Just could be
just
another
another angle.
just could be another branch to go to down to New Orleans for 42 or
Exactly.
Nashville for 43 or whatever.
I feel
So
like I'm watching instead of watching like Star Wars, I feel like I'm watching the birth of Marvel again, all over again. Like this is another phase.
mm-hmm. No, I mean it's just absolutely brilliant. But yeah, let's before we get too much further,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
let's talk about the show. Let's talk about
Yeah.
the show because even outside of that final storyline, I thought it was a hell of a show. I thought it was a phenomenal show.
It's been a minute that I can remember that the show starts off with a bang and ends with a bang, and then in between you have a banger, and then a little like a little. I can use the bathroom, or
Yeah.
as I told y'all in the group, I was like, oh, this is a good time to go give my baby a bath. So
Right, right.
yeah,
And I know
so
which man you're talking about. Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, the show was top. Like no matter what, like I even rewatching that match, it was good to see that, just for like, Trish, and it was more of, I guess, keeping Tiffany fine tuned on the way to WrestleMania. So,
Yeah.
but which I don't think she had a botch, but it kind of looked like one when she was going for a particular high flying move, and somebody came up on her, Candice, I think it was, and she almost messed her knee up.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, that they covered it well, but it was definitely a miscommunication there.
right, right.
Yeah. But yeah, first of all, the women's elimination chamber match, like you said,
Oh
it
my,
started with a bang because before all six women got in there, Jade Cargill, remember her? Jade Cargill power walking down to the ring, looking like she was about to absolutely get her lick back on Liv Morgan, but instead turned her fury at Naomi.
4 seconds after the bell ring,
Yeah.
like they couldn't even let us process the people in the match and just where everything could go. And it was like, hey, y'all remember the storyline y'all been asking about? And she comes in all black, like not even doing the whole this and now that. It was
No,
like,
no, she wasn't posing, she wasn't flexing, she was just power walking.
power walking. And the fact that if you go back and look, you see the fear in Liv, but actually it looked like a deer in the headlights with Naomi, because you can see she's just like, and then she looks at Bianca and it turns back around, and then when Jay comes in, Jay's powering up, and it looked like she's going for Liv, but she goes ape shit on, excuse my language, but
You're good. You're good. Yeah.
just all on Naomi, and I'm just like, yo, yeah, that's the Jade that we know from yeah, the other promotion. So
Yeah, no, that was AEW Jade Carter. That was badass.
yeah.
That was absolutely badass. But the more that I start to think about it, the more that start to think Bianca Belair. Well, first of all, the symbolism wasn't lost on me that Bianca and Naomi were both all in white and Jade was in black.
Uh-huh.
But at the same time, like I feel like Naomi was the culprit, like with the beatdown angle. But I kind of feel like Bianca is going to be almost like a puppet master in this because,
Yeah.
like, I don't I think a lot of like what her kind of like freaked out reaction to it was almost like, oh God, I just got caught.
Or oh God, I can't help my friend that helped me get this position that I'm in. And we had a plan involved to where I was going to get my shot anyway at Rhea.
Yeah.
And as I sit here and think about it, as I sit here and I watched it last night and I watched it again today, and just talking to you guys about it, and Jeremy brought up a point about it being, which we've always joked about it, and it was like they doing the I did it for the Rock like thing, or even the Triple H angle with Shawn Michaels when he turned on Shawn. It was
Hmm.
like, you know, I've been carrying you around. You have weighed me down when I'm initially like a main eventer. Like, cool, yeah, I like being around with these tag team titles, but I am Bianca Belair. I'm the EST. I'm the best in the world, and I've been that bitch for maybe 5 years now, being on the main roster. Like, I've
Hmm.
literally main evented, or not even main evented, but I main evented a WrestleMania. I've been in the spotlight of WrestleMania for the past 4 years. So why am I mid carded? This is not where I belong. I belong in the big stage. I belong on the stage with mommy and the queen and be Becky and all this other stuff. Like,
Mm-hmm. Yep,
so
yep, yep.
it could be foreshadowing that maybe Bianca was behind it. And then not only that, but the fact that her husband has become a heel. And then on top of that, I mentioned to y'all also is like, how is Bianca on SmackDown? But you literally turn on Netflix and she's right there next to Cody and Roman on Raw. So, and she's like one of the biggest promoters for Raw. I mean, not
Yeah.
Raw, but one of the biggest promoters for WWE. Like, you see her face
How,
on
how many commercials has she had?
commercials, yes, and like, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed the show that her and Montez was on. Like, I hope they get a season 2, and it's just the fact that like this storyline has just like, no disrespect to Liv, she had a great year last year. The storyline with her and Mommy was great, but this opens the door not only for just Bianca being back on top, but also like elevating Jade, like putting her like neck and neck with them, because she's a powerhouse. Let's face it, she's
She is, yeah.
tremendously strong, tremendously athletic, and she just needed something to get her edge back, in a sense, to
Yeah.
get that ruthlessness and that I'm that B persona from AEW and bringing it to WWE. And I like the way they did that, where she comes in, she's doing all that or whatever, but it was like, I don't think outside of us that known her, that the casual WWE crowd could like, you know, get to her, feel where she's coming from.
Yeah.
So she needed something to be like, she needed to be simple, like not simple, sorry. She needed to be she needed some compassion, some empathy from fans. Like, oh God, she got taken out. Oh, who did it? And then like, not only who did it, but then to find out that it's Naomi of all people. So now Naomi can go on a heel run that we've never seen from her. And it's just like, it's kind of like the bloodline situation. Like, like everybody's feeding from this storyline.
Exactly. Exactly. It just branches out every place.
There's branches out everywhere, and I love it. I really do. I love it.
Yeah, I really do. But yeah, Bianca won that match. It's
Oh,
gonna be
but
great.
what about how she won that match? Like, who got eliminated, and the storylines coming from those?
Yeah.
Um, it's I, Perez probably still gonna be feuding with Bailey, but the death stare that Alexa Bliss gave Liv when she rolled her up,
Ooh, yeah.
you can't,
That gave me
you
chills,
cannot,
bro. Yeah.
you cannot tell me that she's not finna feud with Liv. And not only that she feuds with Liv, but you got the Wyatt Six in the background, and then you got Nikki. So Nikki and Alexa and um Raquel and Liv, and just the mind games that the Wyatt Six are going to be playing on Judgment Day.
Yeah. No, I'm glad you brought up Alexa because some of the facial expressions she had last night, just some of the facials were terrifying.
Terrifying. Yeah.
Right. Absolutely terrifying. Like there is a sinister darkness to that character that you might not picture. She's not a big woman. She's she's not a big woman, but some of the looks she was giving were just gave me chills, man.
the 5 feet of fear. So
Totally.
yeah.
Totally.
And this look, this is funny to me. The look she gave when she saw like Jay beating the holy hell out of Naomi was just like it took the cake for me because she was like she didn't know what to think, what to do. Like we've seen you literally give death stares and like little sinister smiles and stuff, but to be actually just genuinely shocked at what just transpired was crazy.
Yeah.
Like I know I've been gone for a while, but what's like, what's going on?
Have
Like,
y'all forgot how bad I am? Yeah.
like yeah, but
Yeah.
yeah, that match was fantastic. And I got to give, I don't do this too often, but I got to give Liv Morgan her props. She definitely took the show for sure. But all the
Have
things she
you?
did.
Yeah. Have you seen the picture that she floated around? That she floated around today. Just how like bunk, like bruised
Oh,
and
she was
scraped up
yeah.
she is.
She got taken to the woodshed and got
The
oof.
the spot where Bianca hit her, whipped her with that braid. My God, that I thought wrestling was fake.
Yeah, right. For all those that think that is absurd, wrestling is staged, but everything performed in that ring is 1,000% real. That's why they put the matter of do not try this at home because they don't want you to do the same thing in there because they know you're not going to go as safely as the people that are professionally trained to do that.
Exactly, exactly. Like I remember, and we can talk about this next, but I remember, you know, as I was watching the Sami Zayn Kevin Owens match, that just absolute brutal match, that unsanctioned match. I thought that was the best match on the whole show.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Was it
For
as bloody? Was it as bloody as we thought it was going to be? Not even close. But I don't think it really needed it. But at the same time, I remember remarking in our group chat that some of the stuff that they were doing to each other, like, yes, they're playing mortal enemies on screen and in the ring, but you've got to have a deep level of trust in each other to be able to do that kind of stuff safely. I mean, yeah, they're probably hurting like hell today, but both of them were able to walk out of there.
the spot where Kevin pushed Sammy off the top rope and he fell through those two tables, I was initially shocked. I was like, I didn't think they was going to do it in that type of manner where it was like it was quick because it was a reversal and he just like and it was enough shove to be like, oh wow, he really pushed him, and he just dove off and hit those two tables, and I was just like, oh
And
my,
Sammy still managed to flip over and take the bump safely on his back.
exactly. Like he knew it was just like you said, the amount of trust they have and just uh, the rhythm of the way they were moving with each other, as far as like
Mm-hmm.
hitting those particular spots and knowing like where one is going to be, and just the fact that like the haluva kick, like when Sammy kicked the ref and then he turned around and he like eventually they got to the spot where he haluva kicked Kevin Owens, but the way he haluva kicked Kevin Owens, it looked like he like literally kicked him in the face, like he just gave
Yeah.
him a concussion. But it's just the fact that he known Sammy for so long that he knows when to turn his face a little bit to take the ease off the kick. And
And how many hundreds of matches those two have had together?
oh my, I, if they don't get
Or
if
should
they
I say
don't
Kevin Steen and El Generico, but still with the same two guys.
if they don't both be in the Hall of Fame at the same time, I'll be shocked because like
And
you two have literally beat each other to a bloody pulp, like over the decades y'all have been wrestling together or separately. So
Yeah, and speaking of that match, we got to talk about Mr. Orton coming
oh,
out and just absolutely wrecking shop. But there are two things that really stood out to me about his appearance. Now, first of all, the way that Kevin Owens reacted. Did you notice how bad he was crying in the ring? Like he was just sobbing in the ring, knowing that he just put, Sami Zayn, a man who was in his wedding, through all that. And then knowing that Randy Orton was coming out to take his pound of flesh.
and not just Randy Orton that, is Randy Orton now, but I
Right.
feel as though Kevin might have turned a switch on that Randy hasn't became in so long. And the only way to get that Randy Orton back is to literally almost take him out once and for good. So what you've done is just woken up that voice inside of Randy to where we might, he didn't shave his head off. He didn't shave his hair off. But
Yet.
you might have brought back '09 Randy Orton, the sick
Yeah.
sadistic, like it didn't matter who was it, they can get it. Just man, that ran. And then the fact that we haven't seen this man do this move since probably COVID, but he almost kicked him in the head.
Hmm.
So you can let Kevin over here do a band power driver, but it took everybody in that security to stop Randy from kicking this dude in the head.
That that moment was just when Randy Orton was at his best. Now, yes, his body's beaten up. Let's be
Yeah.
real here. His
Oh, yeah.
body's beaten up. But when he was at his best, he was psychotic. He was psychotic. You know, he was, 07, 08, 09. That was when he was at his peak. And there was a little bit of that came out with that segment last night.
Just a little bit.
I mean, this wasn't the I'm so happy to be here. I'm going to stand on the turnbuckle and do my pose thing. That was somebody who was coming out for blood.
And did you see, like, I guess he was fighting his own mind when he was walking out. Like it was like thoughts in his mind, and he was like,
He hears voices in his head. Did you know that?
yeah, he was here. He
They
was here.
counsel him. They understand him.
Yeah, he was in the ring. He was in the ring, literally looking at Kevin and like looking at his leg, and he did like that on his knee pad, and it was like, yeah, I'm gonna kick him. Yeah, I'm about to do it.
Yeah.
This is has he's pushed me to this level where I have to be this guy again. I wasn't trying to bring this guy out, but now I'm gonna have to bring this guy out.
Yeah, because let's face it, Randy Orton of 2009, a lot younger man, a lot more deranged, didn't
Yeah.
have a family. Now
Oh
he's
yeah.
got a wife. He's got like 3 or 4 kids or something like that.
Yeah. So you got to dial it back just a little bit, just a little bit.
Exactly. Exactly. But yeah, no,
But
that was an incredible moment. But they all got outshined. They all got outshined.
and we didn't even talk about the fact that like he literally RKO'd everybody in that ring, just about every security
Like
guard.
it's like Oprah Winfrey. You get an RKO. You get an
Yeah, you
RKO.
get one.
You
You
get
get one. Oh, you want one? I give you one too.
no.
But yeah, that's gonna be a nice little the promos that we're going to get from that. Just the
Oh,
overall brutality of them trying to stop them from tearing each other apart, and just seeing Kevin Owens stun security guards or powerbomb them, and see Randy probably punt one of them, and then RKO one of them, and then who else is going to get in Randy Orton's way to where he just have to like literally just snap. I mean, he's RKO'd Nick before, so I mean, like, what is going to make him not continuously go through anybody to get to Kevin? So
Yeah, no, that there's no way you can do that at WrestleMania in just a standard match.
no,
That's got to be a stipulation match. That's got to be like an unsanctioned. That's going to be like a, like a last man standing or something like that. Those guys have got to beat the hell out of each other.
or as we're talking about it now, maybe a stipulation to where if one or the other uses that move, that they lose their job, maybe, or lose the match or whatever. But like basically, neither one of them can use that move in the match. The band move match or something. But yeah, it definitely gotta be a stipulation to their match.
Let's bring it on. Let's bring it on. I I can't wait. I can't
So
wait. These next 6 weeks are going to be incredible.
I think I can yeah, I can do this. I'm gonna say something nice about the next match. It was good to see Trish Stratus, move in the match, like, to move at the age she's at, not saying her age, anything like that, but she looks good for her age. And I mean, she moves better than half of the women in the WWE now.
Oh,
And it was just a boost to Tiffany to get the crowd behind Tiff, Tiffy time. And I'm gonna give my kudos to Naya. I know in the group we be saying some goofy things about her sometimes, but I gotta give it up to her. She definitely gives us something to watch and gives us material to,
great.
talk about, And Candice LeRae, she's like a husband. She's like a husband. She's a very good worker. And like it was a nice little filler match to get us to the main event. It was a nice little transition. Kind
Kind of
of
a,
calm what's been going on, because we went from a very high to even more high with the violence, and then kind of bring it down. You know what I mean? Y'all take a break. Get some water, some snacks. Just
get some water, get some snacks, go to the concession stand, get another beer. I mean, yeah.
Get the kids, something to like occupy their time or whatever. And then like, after that match, we about to turn it up even more. So
Yeah, because that men's elimination chamber, so many,
I,
so many.
I swear they got like Hollywood, maybe writers in there, or just people from WWE that leaves and goes write movies in Hollywood, because the way they just, the certain things they did about that match was just crazy. Like, we're gonna put everybody in a pod that, either has beef with these two people in the ring now that's gonna start this match, or, obviously we got to put Logan Paul in the pod. Obviously, we just but the fact that Self and John that started it off, I
Oh
believe.
yeah, who did start it off? Because John was a little later.
Yeah, John was a little later. Let's see, because I got it here pulled up. Okay, Paul was the first to enter. Drew and Rollins began the match. Okay, yeah. So Drew and Seth started the match off. But
Yeah,
for them to start them two off after they had, it was just you take Paul out, right? Everybody
please,
in that
please.
match. Everybody in that match. intertwines with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Just overall, obviously Cena interacts with every one of them because everybody has some type of problem or issue with Cena. But the way you intertwine everybody in it, and like it's like a tree branch. I mean, because like Drew won the title from Rollins. He lost the title because of CM Punk to Priest, excuse me. He lost to the Priest. Then from then on out, you start this Punk, like hate Punk tour. You got Drew starting it off. Then Punk get rid of him. Then you got Rollins coming. Then Punk gets rid of him. And then it's like, instead of y'all like teaming up because y'all both hate Punk, y'all hate each other because of the fact of the title. And it's like, wow, like, like this is, but the Punk hatred is so deep within these men that they totally forget the fact that they are trying to go to WrestleMania to win a title. So it's like, yeah, that's cool. That's a cool sign right there. I want to go to Vegas to win the title, but I needs to take this man out. I am so sick and tired of Punk to the point where I would crash out and lose my opportunity and take this man out.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think that, yeah, no, the CM Punk, like the CM Punk level of this is fascinating to me because, yes, he's got like most of, with the exception of Logan Paul, who I'd rather not mention more than I have to.
Right.
Um, with the exception of him, everybody in that match has a problem with CM Punk.
Yes.
But so many guys would sacrifice their own aspirations to win a championship just to take him out.
Just to have the satisfaction of saying, I'm the one that took you out.
Right.
And then not only CM Punk, but then it wasn't even the fact that it was like, because you have a whole promo the night before talking about, I'm gonna put you out. I'm gonna put you out. I'm gonna put you out. Drew is telling y'all, hey, this man has literally said he's gonna be in the elimination chamber, and he ain't even been here for a whole month. And then he gets eliminated first. Like Drew gets eliminated first out of all of them.
Mm-hmm.
And oh my, we should have a poll like who's, when they finna crash out, who is the most vicious? Because when Drew, you see that Scottish that killer coming out of his face, and you knew for a fact he was finna Claymore the freak out of somebody. Like it was coming. It was
About to
boiling.
kick somebody's head off of his neck. Yeah.
And he went straight for Damien Priest. Rightfully so. But I thought he was gonna go for Punk. To be honest, I thought he was going to Claymore everybody in there. To be honest, just cause,
Yeah, just because why not?
Why not? Or he Claymore everybody but Logan Paul, and then Logan Paul, obviously does Logan Paul thing and try to pin somebody. But
yeah. No, I think that I definitely think you've got Drew and Priest with the WrestleMania match.
yeah,
I think you got to run back Cena, not Cena. I've got Cena on the mind right now, but I think you got to run back Punk and Rollins again.
oh, you got to run back. Not only that, but you have to run back them three in a match, because the fact of, I just hate, if it wasn't for the favor, then you have no choice but to put the triple threat match between Roman, Rollins, and Punk. But with the favor, it eliminates Punk's out of that match because, his main thing the entire year and a half has been I basically want to knock off things I haven't done, things I want to
Mhm.
accomplish. He hasn't accomplished winning the Royal Rumble, and he just lost the Elimination Chamber. So the only thing left is to initiate himself into that main event, because it's gonna be a main event. At the end of the day, like no matter what, we thought it was gonna be Jay and I'm about to say Walter, but Jay and Gunther, and it ends up now
He's
like
still Walter to me, you know that.
yeah, he's still Walter. But now for a fact, night 2, the main event is going to be Homelander versus Peacemaker. So but in all seriousness, no, it's going to be Cody versus Cena.
Mhm.
But at the same time, I feel as though Punk is going to make his way into that match some type of way to make it a triple threat.
How about special referee? I don't think it's going to be I don't think it would be a triple threat.
Right.
Um, because Punk doesn't have a history with Cody, but he
Right.
definitely has a history with Cena.
Right. True. And
And
I just,
and could they set up a thing where it possibly, and I'm just wildly speculating here, but could they set up a thing where he ends up screwing Cena out of that championship and Cena even goes a level crazier?
mm, that could be a possibility.
Yeah,
That's
because
a very strong possibility. And then, and then my thing is like, if you have a triple threat, because let's face it, we talk about Roman Reigns here, and he's main evented multiple WrestleManias.
yeah.
So you have Roman versus Rollins versus Punk. That is a main event, regardless of regardless of what belt is being put on that night. And we
Oh,
know
that's money in I don't care what era you're in, that's money.
right. So like, you know me, I love Jay. I want him to win the belt. I really do. And I feel as though it should be a main event match because he's main event Jay Uso. But like that triple threat has to be the main event of night 1. I mean, like, but they don't. It. I always feel like the main event of night 1 always kind of like transitions to night 2. Like, you know, if Jay is in the main event for night 1 and he wins, you know, that energy from everybody eating and having a good time and just enjoying, like, see him finally get the big one. It transitions to night 2, and then like you have to kind of like top that basically.
I think you got to put Gunther J night 1,
Yeah.
because if you're putting the belt on Jay and you have the celebration and you have the eating and all that, all that, I think that pretty much means that you're going to put the championship on the heel in night 2.
Yeah. Yeah. Or who's to say that Cody don't come out from WrestleMania being a heel too? I mean, because Cody could be a heel,
I
and I mean,
know.
like,
Yeah.
he don't have to be a vicious, like, diabolical heel. I mean, he could be one of those heels that's like political heel. You know, like he's still with the kids and what do you want to talk about and this and that. But at the
Right.
same time, I mean, look at Ric Flair. Ric Flair was one of the dirtiest players in the game, and people love Ric Flair.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, like,
Absolutely.
what to say if Cody doesn't do something diabolical to win that match? I don't know. You know, kick John in the balls like like John did him while the ref is turned or knocked down or whatever the case may be, and you know, crossroads him twice or whatever. But we know The Rock is going to be involved in the match. So how does Cody overcome the corporate heels, corporate Hollywood heels?
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's the thing that I can't wait to see unfold because as I've said before, when Dusty was at his best, it was when he was fighting off the four horsemen, when he was fighting off the corporate heel, speaking of Ric Flair.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like you've got Cody is at his best when he's overcoming adversity, when he is overcoming, when he's overcoming setbacks.
Yeah. I I
Yeah.
got a I got a question for you.
What's up?
In your feeling of how this story has been told, how what does Roman play a part in this? Because The Rock is his cousin. He is
Hmm.
the he's uh, a shareholder in TKO, and yet you're the head of the table. You're the tribal chief. He's the high chief. Um, you're waving your for lack of better words, you're waving your Brahma bull around. You define the boss. You say all be all or whatever, and yet you don't put your cousin in the match at Elimination Chamber. You don't put him anywhere near that title, but you acknowledge him as your tribal chief, though. But yet you pick John Cena as your champion. You want John to be your
When he
champion,
wanted Cody Rhodes at
but he
first.
wanted Cody Rhodes at first because Cody had that title.
Hmm.
I mean, he still does. He has the title, but okay, now John sold his soul to you, but Roman is the tribal chief. So where does the loyalty lie between you two?
Here's what I'm thinking. And I may be reading way too much into this. But when Rock came out after that Hell in a Cell match at Bad Blood, I think it
Bad
was,
blood, yeah, yeah, Atlanta.
when he did the whole 1, 2, 3 thing, thinking Cody Rhodes was number one,
Mm-hmm,
John Cena was number two,
mm-hmm.
and the tribal chief is number three. I think it's going to wind up because obviously it can't happen this year.
Yeah, no,
Rock's about to start filming a movie
yeah,
with Martin freaking Scorsese, by the way.
right.
Um, but maybe WrestleMania 42.
New Orleans. I mean, sounds like a. Are you saying we get Rock versus Roman finally?
I think we could.
Now
I know that's what I want.
that's what I want to. I do want that. I
I know
wanted
that's what I want.
Rock.
But I also wanted John Cena to turn heel in that match last night, and it actually happened. But I don't know if that's the play because obviously I don't know about what Rock's schedule is going to be, and
Yeah,
also, and also April of 2026, he's going to be another year older. Both of them are going to be another year older.
yeah, facts.
So
I can only hope and pray, and I really want that match, like because it has so much significance behind it because of the fact that Roman has literally built himself. Like outside of the big dog this, and they basically forcing it down our throats as far as Roman being the guy or whatever. But for him to come back and give us the actual Roman Reigns that not only he wanted to give, but like that should have been portrayed in the first place, like head of the table, tribal chief, the guy, and then the storyline with the bloodline, and to build this particular character up and be where he is now. And now you got the final boss, and it's like, all right, I'm the final boss, but I'm your tribal chief. Like, no matter what, outside of that little corporate title you got, I am over you far as family wise. So obviously it's gonna be for the Ula follow. I mean, it has to be, right?
No, it's got to be. Yeah, it's got to be.
And then like maybe, and then plus, I mean, like at the end of the day, like I love The Rock. We love John Cena. We love all these guys, but Father Time does come calling,
It's
and
undefeated. He's undefeated.
The Rock has more obligations now than ever to Hollywood. So could 42 be his retirement match, maybe? Because I mean, I don't really see too many matches in The Rock's table.
I'm curious. I'm curious.
Because I mean, okay, besides the tag team match, the last match Rock had, he literally torn his abdominal muscle. Like he had a hernia. So
and that postponed the start of, like, what was it, The Mummy?
Was it
Hercules? Hercules, yeah.
Hercules, yes. Yeah. So, I mean, I can only see it if they ever do have The Rock versus Roman. It has to be like The Rock's retirement match,
right?
Because I mean, it makes no, and then again, it don't make no sense for The Rock to beat Roman because of the fact that, like, I mean, Roman is the guy outside of the undisputed champion. So
Right, of course. Yeah.
So it don't make no sense for Roman to take an L to the final boss. Like this ain't Vince McMahon days.
In 2025, it doesn't make sense, but we don't know what it would be like in a year from
now. Yeah, that's true too. That is true. I mean, hell, we don't even know what the next 2 months is going to be. To be honest,
right? Exactly. I mean, we don't know what the next 6 weeks are going to be before WrestleMania.
Because, like, you would have told me. You'd have told me 5 to 10 years ago that John Cena would have turned heel in 2025. I would have never believed.
I get that. I really get that. Got one more question I want to ask you before we wrap up here.
Okay. All right.
I asked this in the group chat last night, and I want to ask it, here on the podcast.
All right.
What was the bigger heel turn moment? Was it Hulk Hogan in 1996, or was it John Cena this year?
Okay, I saw something online today that made me really think about that, and it was basically with John Cena turning heel now is more of a shock to us in our age group and probably slightly younger, than the kids, because kids now growing up their heroes are Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes, and the younger. Well, Cody is in that group with us, but then at the same time, like with him being gone and then coming back and initiating himself into WWE, it's kind of like the new fans of WWE know him as the American Nightmare, not Stardust and all this other stuff. Right. So it's shocking, no matter what. Like it's shocked it sent shockwaves throughout social media era. But Hogan coming into WCW and joining NWO has to be the most shocking, because it was in an era where the internet has just slowly started. You know, we had AOL, dial up, and all that. And just the initial shock sent through the wrestling community when he dropped that leg drop. And then the fans in that arena or, stadium, wherever it was, the fact that they was throwing stuff at them, like cups and anything they could find, just throwing
Yep.
stuff. And just the broadcast, he was like, "Why, Hogan? Why? Like, you just betrayed WCW. Like, how could you do this?" It, like, at the end of the day, the heel turns, The Rock and Stone Cold and Hogan and Cena now is like it's in the upper echelons of shock,
Yeah.
but it has to be Hogan. Like, at the end of the day, it has to be Hogan because Hogan was built throughout the decade, 80s, 90s, as this guy, like, eat your Wheaties and, USA and, like, like you said in the group, like, this man literally power slammed Andre the Giant. Like, he did the impossible and, like, slammed the
Hmm.
giant. And then, he was in the movies and the shows and just like he was getting fed to us like night in and night out. Like, Hogan is a good guy, USA, this, that, and the third. And then for him to do the unimaginable and just turn, and not only turn, he leg dropped Macho Man Randy Savage.
Yeah.
It could have been anybody else in the world, but you leg drop Macho Man. So that was even more of a like that to everybody.
Totally.
So yeah, yeah. I said John at first, but then when I thought about it and I saw that post and I was like, yeah, it's definitely Hogan. That
Yeah. Yeah. No, and that might have been a little recency bias here, but I think I'm totally with you that Hulk Hogan, to me, Hulk Hogan was, to a Gen Xer like me, Hulk Hogan was the John Cena for the millennials.
oh yeah, no doubt.
Um, because like body slamming Andre the Giant, the what was it? What was Gorilla Monsoon's line? The immovable
Oh,
yeah.
okay, the immovable object and the
The
force.
irresistible force and the immovable object or something like
Yep,
that. Yeah.
yep.
That iconic moment in front of 80,000 people at WrestleMania 3.
Mhm.
Um, that, to me, that was the moment. That was the most shocking thing, you know, I think any of us had ever seen in wrestling at that point.
Mhm.
It got bloated in a hurry, but that was the most just iconic thing that I've ever seen in terms of a heel turn.
Oh yeah.
But at the same time, Cena, I think, could end up being more impactful because let's face it, Hulk Hogan at that point, Hulk Hogan was kind of he was still a full timer.
Yeah.
He was still a full time wrestler, but he was around the same age that Cena is now. He was in
Mhm.
his like mid 40s.
Mhm.
Um, but Hulk Hogan was still trying to put himself over like it was 1987 again.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I have it that John Cena isn't quite. I'm sure he's a politician backstage, but not to that level.
I see him more of a when he said what he does what's best for the business. I can believe him when he say he does like we made our jokes about him burying people. He got the golden shovel and this, that, and the third. But like for him to come back and take a L to Austin Theory, at WrestleMania and take an L to Solo, and this man literally went 2,000 and something days without taking a win at all. I could see him not only doing this for himself, but like this heel run once again to repeat ourselves. Like people are going to feed off of this run. Like I see this run being like, we'll probably have a debate later on the year or whatever, or whenever Cena, officially is done, and like literally have a debate on who's the top 5 heels. Because like for Cena to be a babyface for so long, and during that time, him on that mic, like you would think he was a heel, the way he would just like take somebody to the woodwork on the mic. Like Roman, he did Roman that way. He did like the Usos. He did like everybody on the mic, just like bared him for real. So whenever John hits that nice speech and he takes that hat off and do his hair and then put the hat back on, it's gonna be a nice speech because you're going to forget what they said and you're going to remember what he said. So,
Yeah.
and like you said, this run is probably going to be ridiculous. Like it's going to be one of the greatest runs we probably have ever witnessed. Probably on that same realm of when Roman, started that whole 1,000 plus run as champion.
Yep. And I definitely think it's going to make the road to WrestleMania 41 a lot more compelling.
A lot. Like a lot. Very, very much so.
All right, my brother. This is yeah.
I'm just like, I'm excited. I'm ready for. I hope they don't wait till like SmackDown. I hope they just kick it off on Netflix and like John comes out. His song hits and it just changed like that. And he comes out with jorts. He comes out with some corporate suit or something.
Right.
He's not colorful anymore. He's tailor made and just new haircut and just like
and you with some of the interviews he's done, you've seen the kind of suits this man wears.
You know what? Now that you said it, like, what if he comes out like that John, like the actual real John Cena in real life? Like he comes out like that.
This is going to be a hell of a lot of fun.
Oh, I'm gonna love it. I'm
going to be a lot of fun.
Every little bit of it. I can't wait for the many discussions we're going to have on the road to WrestleMania, and the twists and turns of all these storylines that's going to develop.
Absolutely. And I can't wait for this next episode of the Wrasslin Wroundtable podcast.
Me neither.
All right. Same time next week?
Same time next week.
All right, my brother. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for watching. Until we meet again, this is Ryan Hall for Dominique LaRue saying thanks for watching and so long for now.
Oh, and I got my New Day shirt on, since, we've seen an epic heel turn. So.
Oh, there you go. There you go. All right. Take care, y'all.
You too.